Good evening, you're watching the news on Croatian television. According to a statement issued by the Agrokor concern, significant progress was achieved in moving towards a settlement deal for Agrokor's creditors at a meeting today between the Crisis Management Team, the Temporary Creditors Council, and the Knighthead Capital Investment Fund. A new meeting has been scheduled for March 19th.
I am truly pleased with the results of our meeting. We have achieved significant progress, and I am confident that we will succeed in agreeing on the basic conditions that will define the framework for the settlement plan. I am looking forward to our next meeting with all of you, when I will be able to inform you of the results we have achieved.
We had a very successful series of meetings where a number of very important issues were addressed, and through an incredible amount of hard work on the part of all the participants, great progress was made. We believe that we are moving along at a good pace, ahead of schedule, to resolve the final issues that remain and to achieve a successful conclusion of the process.
Prime Minister Andrej Plenković said today that the European Commission's latest report, which states that Croatia lacks resolve in implementing reforms, was expected. He emphasized that the report also states that government's emergency legislation for companies of systemic importance to the economy, which was applied in the Agrokor case, had resulted in Croatia avoiding massive negative economic consequences.
The fact that we avoided any negative consequences to our economy gives us the right to say that in 2017 we created the preconditions for better economic growth this year, especially through the implementation of reforms.
President Kolinda Grabar-Kitarović has also weighed in on the EC report, saying that it confirms what Croatia has been aware of for some time now.
Croatia is falling behind. It is trailing other countries and is not developing at a rate that would allow us to catch up, not just with the most developed EU member states, but with those countries with whom only yesterday we were on par with, if not more developed.
Speaking in Parliament today, opposition parties, the SDP and Most, agreed that structural reforms are desperately needed.
Government representatives say that this situation is expected, which actually means that they are aware of the fact that in this past year they haven't completed a single significant reform in Croatia. It has to be clear to absolutely everyone that without structural reforms the GDP will stagnate. The country will not move in the right direction, immigration will continue, and we will be doomed to failure.
Over the next couple of weeks, government plans to prepare legislative amendments and other measures aimed at helping out citizens with blocked accounts, of which there are more than 300,000. The measures include a debt write-off for the most vulnerable cases and partial debt forgiveness and simplifying bankruptcy proceedings for certain categories of citizens.
Nothing can be changed retroactively, but we can, with a set of measures, try to make it a little easier for our citizens, who have, some of no fault of their own, come under trying times. Some others may not even belong in this category. At the same time, it is necessary to adopt certain measures that will reduce this considerable burden.
The procedure for forwarding the Istanbul Convention to Parliament is nearing an end. However, before doing so, government plans on proposing an additional document it says will ensure the convention does not trample on the values of the Croatian constitution.
I believe that by next week or the week after, we will have the convention here in government, after which we will forward it to Parliament for ratification. This is something we promised to do at the end of November last year. All of the procedure has been carried out, the public debate has been conducted, and I don't believe that all of the dilemmas that existed are of that nature that they can't be overcome.
However, some members of the Prime Minister's coalition government oppose the convention, saying that it promotes gender ideology, while most opposition parties are demanding that it be ratified as soon as possible.
We will try to initiate a referendum on the issue in the coming weeks before this item is put into parliamentary procedure, and in that way block the ratification of this contentious document. I call on all political parties, individuals, associations, and all citizens to join us. In my mind, Mr. Zekanović's first move should be to withhold his support of this government before he tries to organize a referendum, because it is obvious that government is moving ahead with the ratification and he opposes it. If he is a man of his word, then he will withhold his support of this government.
First and foremost, I expect the Istanbul Convention to introduce chaos into the coalition government, because we already know that within the coalition government there are those who have said that they will never vote for the ratification of the Istanbul Convention.
The Croat member and current chair of the presidency of Bosnia and Herzegovina, Dragan Čović, lectured at the Croatian Heritage Foundation in Zagreb today on the future of the Croat people in that country. He emphasized that all Croatians, without exception, support Bosnia and Herzegovina's Euro-Atlantic integration and the equality of all three of the country's constituent peoples.
To preserve our existence as a truly constituent people in Bosnia and Herzegovina on the one hand, and on the other, to be leaders in all of the positive processes in Bosnia and Herzegovina. This is something of a mission for us, as we, the smallest constituent nation, have been deprived of many other privileges, constitutional or other. And I would say that as such we have to be better than others, so that in the end we assume our equal place with the other two constituent peoples of Bosnia and Herzegovina.
And taking a quick look at sports, in tennis, Petra Martic is through to the second round of play in the women's draw in Indian Wells, California, after beating Tatjana Maria of Germany 6-3, 6-1. Dona Vekic was less fortunate, losing to Maria Sakkari of Greece 6-4, 6-2. And now the forecast for tomorrow. Partly sunny and predominantly dry with some morning fog in inland areas. There's a slight chance of some rain in the wider Rijeka area and in Gorski Kotar. There will be a mild to moderate southeasterly on the coast with a southerly and southwesterly on the northern Adriatic. Morning lows of -2 to +3 degrees Celsius in the interior, 5 to 10 on the coast, will give way to highs of 12 to 16 degrees. The 3-day forecast for the interior calls for even warmer weather at the beginning of next week, but with variable cloud cover and some rain in southern inland reaches, while northern areas will see more sun. There will be a moderate to strong southerly and southwesterly. The coast will see moderate to strong southeasterly winds, reaching gale-force gusts in some places. Rains on the northern Adriatic will spread to the rest of the coast. And that wraps up the news. Be sure to join us again tomorrow night.